ஹலோ ஜேபிகே சார்.
சார் குட் மார்னிங்.
எஸ்எம்கே சார் வந்தாங்களா?
குட் மார்னிங் சார். குட் மார்னிங்.
குட் மார்னிங் சார். எஸ்எம்கே சார் பாருங்க. எஸ் சார் உங்களுடைய இது செல் இது எந்த நேம்ல இருக்குது?
ஏன் செல்ல?
இல்ல
அவங்க என்ன பேச ஜேபிகே சார் சவுண்ட் வரலையா? ஜேபிகே சார் ஹலோ ஜேபிகே சார்.
சார் குட் மார்னிங்.
குட் மார்னிங் சார். குட் மார்னிங். இப்ப கேக்குது.
சரி
சார் பேசுங்க. சார் எஸ்எம்கே சார்.
Very good morning. Very good morning, sir.
Very good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Very fine. Very fine.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. All the very best, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. வணக்கம்.
Okay, sir. Nice.
பக்காவா சீட்லாம் பக்காவா இருக்குண்ணா. சூப்பரா இருக்கு.
பேசிங்கம்மா. சொல்லிட்டீங்களா? இன்னும் பண்ணாம இருக்காங்க. கனெக்ட் வித் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஆடியோ கொடுக்கணும். பாஷா சார் வந்து கனெக்ட் வித் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஆடியோ கொடுக்கல. அது கொடுங்க சொல்லுங்க. பாஷா நம்பர். இப்போ
கமித் பாஷா வராரு.
ஓகே சார்.
பாஷா வணக்கம் பாஷா.
வணக்கம்
சார். இன்னும் அவங்க இது பண்ணல சார். அன்மியூட் பண்ணல. கனெக்ட் ஆகல. பாஷா நீங்க சொன்னா கனெக்ட் வித் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஆடியோ லெஃப்ட் சைடுல பாட்டம். அதான் சார் சவுண்ட் சார் போன்ல ஃபோன் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. போன்லயும் அதே சார் போன்ல வந்துச்சுலாமா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டே சார். அதேதான் சார். சார்
ஹலோ.
எஸ் சார் சொல்லுங்க சார். பேசுங்க.
சொல்லுங்க எஸ்எம்கே சார்.
Okay. Are you receiving my voice?
என்ன ப்ரோ சார்?
Voice laudable.
எஸ்னா லவுடபிள்.
ஓகே.
லவுடபிள்.
இன்னொரு டைம் அதே பட்டனை பிரஸ் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க.
உங்க அதே பட்டனை பிரஸ் பண்ணுங்க. அதே பட்டன் உங்க பிரஸ் பண்ணுங்க சார். அதே பட்டன் உங்க பிரஸ் பண்ணுங்க சார்.
பக்கத்துல அப்படியே ஆடியோவையும் வீடியோ இன்னும் இல்லங்கம்மா. வீடியோ ஓகே.
அப்ப ஏன் வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணணுமா?
மாமா வீடியோ அன்மியூட் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க.
இல்ல சார் உங்களுக்கு கரெக்ட்டா இருக்கு. எஸ்எம்கே சார் உங்களுக்கு கரெக்ட்டா இருக்கு.
அங்க எஸ்எம்கே.
ஓகே.
குட் மார்னிங் எஸ்எம்கே.
Good morning.
Congratulate.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank you.
Today I am entered. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
நாகூரணி சார் வணக்கம் சார்.
வணக்கம்.
உங்களோட blessing வேணும் சார்.
என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்கள் blessing. இன்னும் என்னென்ன இருக்குதோ எல்லாமே அட்வான்ஸா உங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துறேன். உங்க ஆர்கனைசர் உங்க டீம்மேட் எல்லாருக்குமே கொடுத்துறேன்.
சரி சார்.
இப்ப யார் பேசுறீங்க?
அப்பாத்துரை சார். அப்பாத்துரை பேசுறேன்.
என்ன அப்பாத்துரை சார் இப்படி நேற்றே என்னை இப்படி அல்லாட விட்டு இன்னைக்கு புக் பண்ணி அதுக்கப்புறம் அப்பா தெரியட்டும். அப்பாத்துரை சார் இருக்கும்போது என்னைய நேற்றே இப்படி விட்டுருக்கலாமா?
சாரி சார். ஃபார் எவ்ரிதிங்.
இப்ப அப்பாத்துரை சார் ஃபேஸ பாத்துட்டேன்.
Thank you சார்.
எஸ்எம்கே சார் ஃபேஸ பாத்துட்டேன். குட் மார்னிங். பிரபாகருக்கு ஒரு குட் மார்னிங் சொன்னோம்னு சொல்லிருங்க.
சரி சார்.
இப்ப ஆமா இன்னைக்கு தான் உண்மையா சந்தோஷமா உள்ள வெபினார் கோர்ஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றேன்.
சரி சார். சந்தோஷம் சார்.
தேங்க்யூ. நீங்க ரெடியா வேண்டிய ஏற்பாடு பண்ணுங்க.
ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார் தேங்க்யூ சார் தேங்க்யூ சார் தேங்க்யூ சார்
தேங்க்யூ பிரபாகரையும் பார்த்துட்டோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
சரி சார் பாத்துறீங்க சார் ஓகே
பிரபாகர் குட் மார்னிங். ரோஸ் கலர் நீங்களும் ரோஸ் கலர் சட்டை, நானும் ரோஸ் கலர் சட்டை.
மேட்ச் ஆயிடுது சார், நல்லா மேட்ச் ஆகுது. சூப்பர்.
இன்னைக்கு தான் ஒழுங்கான மேட்ச். சரி
பாஷா சாருக்கு அதேதான்
பாஷா என்ன சேனல் சொல்ல தெரியாது.
கனெக்ட் வித் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஆடியோ அவனுக்கு எதுக்கு பண்ணாம இருக்கறான். அதான் அம்மா 10:40.
பாசா வணக்கம் பாசா.
சார் அவருக்கு தெரியல சார். ஒரு நிமிஷம் சார், பாஷா சாருக்கு ஒரு இன்டிமேஷன் கொடுக்குறோம் சார். அவங்க இன்னும் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஆடியோ கனெக்ட் பண்ணல. ஒரு 2 மினிட்ஸ் சார் அவங்கள பண்ண சொல்லிட்டு
அவங்க ரஸ் ஆயிட்டாங்கன்னு தான் ஓடி போய் உங்க அப்பாவும் அங்க போயிட்டாரு. அப்புறம் பாப்போ போய் அப்புறம் இடம் கிடைக்காதுன்னு சொல்லி ஆன் பண்ணி திரும்ப
அவர் சொல்லுவா. மாஷா பயப்படுறாப்ல. ஆமா உள்ள வந்துட்டு வெளிய வந்துட்டு சார பண்ணியாச்சுங்க. ஆமா அவர் சாரே பண்ணிட்டாரா? செத்துறதுக்கு வந்து போறா சொல்லணும் சார். அதாவது மியூட் அன்மியூட் மட்டும் பண்ணிருக்கோம். சார் மறுபடியும் கிளிக் பண்ணா உள்ள வந்துக்கலாம். நாகூர் கணி சாருங்க. அந்த பட்டன் மேல இந்த 2 பட்டன் மேல ஒரு பிரஸ் பண்ண வந்துட்டு
நமக்கு வேண்டிய அதனால இன்னைக்கு பிடிச்ச
நாகூர்கனி.
பக்கத்துல இருக்க பையனா பொண்ணானா?
பையன் செகண்ட்.
இல்ல பக்கத்துல உங்க பக்கத்துல நிக்கிறது பையனா பொண்ணா?
பொண்ணு.
சரிங்க சரிங்க சரிங்க.
பொண்ணு தான் கொஞ்சம் அந்த சாஃப்ட்வேர் கொஞ்சம் தெரியும்.
அப்படியா? கொஞ்சம் மூஞ்ச காமிச்சோன்னா டாடா காமிச்சிடலாம். உங்க பொண்ணை பாத்து ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு.
டாட்டா கட்டுமா? அப்பாத்துறை சார் தான்.
ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு, சின்ன வயசுல பாத்தது. ஹாய், நல்லா இருக்கியாம்மா? ஹாய்.
ஹலோ அங்கிள்.
ஒருத்தரோட சிச்சுவேஷன் எப்படி இருக்குது?
என்னன்னா எங்க சிச்சுவேஷனா?
உங்க ஏரியா சிச்சுவேஷன் எப்படி இருக்குது?
அங்க வந்து கொஞ்சம் இதாதான் இருக்குண்ணா. இன்னைக்கு மார்னிங் வந்து ஒய்ஃபை கொண்டு விட்டு வந்தேன்.
சரி.
கடலூர்ல. அதனால நான் கனெக்ட் பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லி ஏற்கனவே ஒரு வீடியோ ஷூட் பண்ணி விட்டுட்டேன் அவங்கள்ட்ட. சப்போஸ் வர முடியலன்னா.
ஓ அது சரி.
ஆமா ஸ்பீச் ஒரு வீடியோ ஷூட் பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டேன். சரி வந்துட்டேன்னா டைரக்டா கனெக்ட் ஆயிடுறேன்.
இப்பவுமே இந்த கனெக்ஷன் நீங்க கொடுத்த லிங்க் மற்றவங்களுக்குலாம் வர மாட்டேங்குங்கிறாங்க, என்னன்னு தெரியல.
அது பிரபாரம் கொடுத்த லிங்க் தான் சொல்லுவாங்க.
அந்த லிங்க் மற்றவங்க எல்லாம் கனெக்ட் ஆகலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு கேட்குறாங்க.
சரி.
அதை என்னன்னு தெரியல. அதை நீ வேற இதுல லிங்க்ல போங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி விட்டுருக்கிறேன். நாகூர்கனி அவர் சுதாரிச்சிட்டாரு. நேத்து லேட் ஆயிட்டான்.
சரி சரி சரி.
அவரு ஏதோ பிரபாகரன் தெரியுங்கிறாரு.
ஓ சரிங்க சரி.
அதனால நேத்தே பிடிச்சி வாங்கிட்டார் போல தெரியுது.
ஆமா ஆமா உங்களுக்கு காலையில அனுப்புனா லிங்க். இன்னும் இவரு பிரபாகரன் வந்து அந்த லிங்கை ஒன்றும் நம்ம எதுவும் போடலை. அதை போட்டுறேன். நம்ம மறந்துட்டார் போடுங்க அந்த லிங்க்.
சரி
லிங்கை போடுறேன். நம்ம இதை பார்த்தேன். உங்களுக்கு காலையில பாத்துட்டீங்களா? லிங்க் பாத்துட்டீங்க காலையில?
ஆமா.
அவங்க ஏன் போடாம போட்டுட்டு நான் போட்டுருவேன். கேட்டுட்டு போடுறேன். நான் அவங்க ஏன் போடாம இருக்காங்க தெரியல. அப்புறம் நம்ம லிங்கை வந்து நீங்க இதுல நம்ம குரூப்ல போடவே இல்லையா? போட்டீங்களா? சரி, ஓகே. அந்த இதுதானே யூடியூப் லிங்க் மட்டும். சரி சார், ஓகே, நோ ப்ராப்ளம்.
அது க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுமா?
காகித நிலத்தை லிங்க் கனெக்ட் பண்ணிப்பியா? உள்ள போயிடுறியா?
பண்ணி வைங்க.
கார்த்தி கார்த்தி
அவங்க மீட் பண்ணாரு பாருப்பா.
கனெக்ட் பண்ணலையோ? கார்த்திகேயன்,
கனெக்டிங் டு ஆடியோ பேச.
கார்த்தி என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கா? நம்ம பிக்சர் வந்து போகும் இல்ல போகாதோ? சரி வேண்டாம் விட்டுருக்கேன்.
சார் கே
இப்ப கேக்குது சார், கேக்குது. எஸ் கே.
ஓகே சார் ஓகே சார்
ஏசியை கூட்டிட்டு
இப்ப பேசுறேன்.
ப்ரோ சார் லைன்ல இருக்கீங்களா? எஸ்எம்கே சார்.
லைன்ல இருக்கேன் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே சார். சும்மா ஒரு செகண்ட் ஃபைனல் செக்அப் சார். ஓகே சார். ஓகே.
இது 19
10 கரெக்ட்டா 15 மணிக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம் சார்.
ரைட் ஓகே.
ஓகே சார்.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சார் தான் பேசி இருங்க சார் 55 பேசுங்க சார்.
55 பேசுங்க. ஆமா முதல்ல இருக்கு சார்.
5 நிமிஷம் இருக்கு.
50 போட்டலாமா? நீங்க 52 தான் ஆகுதுல.
இப்போ நம்ம பிக்சர் அங்க போவாதுல எல்லாத்துக்கும் போமா?
என்ன ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க சார். இனிமே தான் பண்ணுவோம். நம்ம போட்டலாமா?
ஜெபிக்கு சார் டைம் இருக்கு. ஜெபிக்கு சார்.
ப்ரோ சார்
டைம் இருக்கு. டைம் இருக்கு.
டைம் இருக்கு. ஓகே ப்ரோ சார். ஓகே.
இது 100 முடிஞ்சிச்சப்பா? 100 வந்துச்சு. தேங்க்ஸ் சார் வந்தாரு.
சார் உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட் சொல்லுங்க சார்.
அத நான் சொல்லவே இல்ல சார். நான் சொல்லிறேன் சார். நான் சொல்றேன்.
அந்த வோட் ஆஃப் தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்லுங்க
சார். சொல்லிறேன். நீங்க சாப்பிடுங்க. சரி. நிறைய உங்களுக்கு நம்பர் நான் பண்ணல என்னன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் மார்க் பண்ணேன். அண்ணன் சேடி வச்சாங்க. ஒரு கோச் ஒரு என்ன பேப்பர் சாதாரண பேப்பர்
யூடியூப் லிங்க் ஓபன் பண்ணி விட்டாச்சா?
இல்ல சார் ஒண்ணும் இல்ல பண்ணல சார். நம்ம இப்ப எதிரி பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்ஸ் வந்திருக்காங்க.
தம்பி கூப்பிடு, அவர் பாப்பாரு, அப்பாத்தோட பாப்பாரு. தம்பியை கூப்பிடு.
கொடுத்தேன். அண்ணா பையன் தலையை காமிக்க மாட்டேங்கண்ணா. ஓகேண்ணா.
ஓகே, எவரிதிங் இஸ் ஓகே.
அப்புறம் பார்க்குறேன்.
லிங்க் கொடுத்துட்டீங்களா?
ஓகே சார், லிங்க் கொடுத்தாச்சு சார். செக் பண்ணலாம் சார். ஓகே, ரெண்டு பேருமே
பாசா உள்ள வந்துட்டாரா? பாசா பாசா வணக்கம் பாசா.
சார் இது சார். சார் ஓகே சார். ஓகே சார்.
Okay, very good morning to all. I welcome all the participants for the second day session of the national level webinar in history. The session will commence with welcome address. All are requested to mute your audio and video. Your responses are highly appreciated. Now I call upon Dr. R. Ilamaran, Assistant Professor of History, Thiru Kolanjappar Government Arts College, Virudachalam, to deliver welcome address.
First, I would like to start some course on history. David Thielen. The change of history is to record the past and introduce it into the present. David McCulloch. A nation that forget its past can function no better than an individual with amnesia. I am very much delighted to deliver the welcome address before the gallery of historians and eminent scholars in the urgent occasion. Through the word hospitality attained pinnacle, the sin epoch, but through the various stages of erosion, it stands in its own way with value and principle. First of all, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. G. Rajvel, Principal through Kolanjappar Government Arts College, Virudachalam, and Professor K.P. Suresh Kumar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of History, through Kolanjappar Government Arts College, Virudachalam, for their guiding spirit to grace occasion. Next, I pass on Dr. A. Prabhakaran, Director of Webinar, Assistant Professor in History, through Kolanjappar Government Arts College, Virudachalam. He is not an academician, but also an excellent administrator. He is a man of extraordinary force of brain and character, who under all circumstances trembled for himself, and also side where he stands for. I feel happy to extend a hearty welcome to you, sir, on behalf of organizing committee and participant for your mastered niceties and subtleties profession. Now, I switch over to member of the organizing team for their connected to efforts shown for the flourishment of this vibrant webinar. Welcome you, sir. This is my golden opportunity to welcome all the elect audience and eminent scholar who are all in online mode to make your participation in this webinar. I would like to leave you with a Chinese proverb says that if you planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade of plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime educate people, may you have productive webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. K. Apathurai, Assistant Professor in History, Department of History, Tirukulanjappar Government Arts College, Virudhachalam, to introduce the resource person, Dr. L. Socio-Political, Associate Professor and Head, Department of History, Presidency College, Chennai. Yes, carry on, sir.
Sir, am I visible and audible, JPK sir? JPK sir?
Yes.
Am I?
Okay, carry on, sir. Okay, you carry on.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
You proceed, sir. You proceed, sir.
Okay. Well, good morning to all. It gives me titanic pleasure to introduce a man of unassuming personality, organic intellectual, eminent scholar, great academician, voracious reader and writer and orator. It is none other than only one, our resource person today, Dr. L. Socio-Political, Associate Professor and Head, Department of History, Presidency College, Chennai. He is an instrumental in framing syllabi to number of university across South India. Authored number of books and published more than 60 articles both in national and international journals. Guided nearly 27 doctoral scholars to get their brightness degree in research. It is not an encomium, it is a known fact to all the practitioners of history in South India in general and Tamil Nadu in particular. His work speaks his contribution to the different ideological framework in history. He is a benign erudite and product of the great Madurai Kamarajar University. His research bent of mind, other historical sense is shaped by the great historian like Dr. Rajayan and B.B.G. Gopalakrishnan in Madurai Kamarajar University. His academic excellence runs to volume and hovers to narrate. He stands as a beacon light for the historian of present generation by setting the highest benchmark. In short, he has sacrificed his time and energy and fortune for the cause of history. He has been making differences in the life of many faculty members, research scholars, and students, for which, on behalf of the participant and the organizing committee, I salute you, sir. I repeat once again, he is sacrificing his time, energy, and fortune for the cause of education. He has been making differences in the life of many practitioners of history in South India, and particularly in Tamil Nadu, and research scholars and students. We have such a great personality with us today to deliver the lecture on socio-political issues in Tamil Nadu. Dear participant, I assure you, he would keep you as
Parasa,
a
Parasa.
spellbound for
Thank
more
you.
than 1.5 hours. And I call upon our resource person to deliver the lecture. And also I request the participant, shoot your question in the chat box. Don't shoot him down. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your inspiring introduction, sir. May I request Dr. L. Socio-Political Kumaraswamy, Associate Professor and Head, Department of History, Presidency College, Chennai, to share his views and experience on the topic socio-political issues in Tamil Nadu. Thank you, sir. Please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Very good morning, very good morning.
I am very thankful to the principal of this Kolanjiyapar College, the head of the department, Dr. Suresh Kumar, the webinar organization, Dr. Prabhakaran, and convener, Dr. Jayapalakrishnan, and introduction speech given by Ilamaran and Dr. K. Appathurai. I am very thankful to all those who are coming to participate in the webinar. They are coming from the different colleges and universities and the student community who are well integrated, and I think that they would receive the historical knowledge relating to my selection of the theme socio-political issues in Tamil Nadu. It may be called the socio-political trends that took place through the past 3 centuries. I am very interested to deliver this lecture because even though it is a new field to me, now I am welcoming this trend setting that made many trends in the course of the Tamil Nadu history. One thing, the trend means that making some movement, that changing the society in its own way and in diverse methods. This thing, I am first of all coming from the first trend is the missionary movement. The missionary movement is the first trend which created social trends. Thereafter, only the political trends took place in Tamil Nadu history. Even though it is a vast area, the vast knowledge can be culled from this ocean into a stream is the duty of myself as an interesting researcher. The first trend setting, the missionary movement, the advent of the Christianity, the advent of the St. Thomas, one of the apostles of the Jesus Christ, he came around 1552 AD and he almost came to Mylapore in 1566. It was one of the important trends that made the birth of the Christianity in Tamil country. Following St. Thomas, I think that a Jesuit missionaries they came. Saint Xavier, he was an important Jesuit missionary. He landed at the Tamil country around 1542. He made his landing in the coastal belt. Now we are called Bisari Coast. That coast made a fertile ground for him to make some conversion activities that involved the people of the Paravas of the coastal area. He visited the coastal area from Thoothukudi to the Kanyakumari district. In Kerala area, he established almost 6 churches. One among the church was Tiruvidangodi Church. It was the oldest church in Tamil Nadu in the history. After Saint Xavier, he made the conversion activities only in the coastal area. Then what happened is the formation of the old Majora mission. The old Majra mission, the founder of the old Majra mission, Robert T. Noble. He was also the founder of the Jesuit mission in Tamil country. His role is very important. He almost occupied the Madurai region. Madurai was considered the headquarters of the Jesuit mission. Hence, it was called Old Majra mission. In that mission, he concentrated on converting the high caste people, especially the Brahmins, to Christianity. It was an impossible task, but he attempted. Hence, his name was called Sannyasi Swami. He was also called a Pothakar. That Pothakar made conversion in the form of the Brahmin dress, in the form of the Brahmin culture. He wore the sacred thread. He used the sandal paste. He also make his attirement entirely on the Brahmin side. He himself called Roman Brahmin. In such a way, he started his conversion activities in Madurai region. Then the next step that took place in the form of the another missionary. He was called Joe D. Brito. He was called Pandaraswamy. That means the evangelism was spread to another stage. It was the second stage. He made conversion only in the high caste people, especially among the Vellalas. Then the Christianity Catholic movement. Then it was gone to the next stage that was called Parayaswamy. In 3 stages, the Catholics involved in spreading the Christianity in Tamil Nadu. It created a social change in the established society. The Hindu society was very dominant. It has its own culture. In that culture, without disturbing the Hindu culture, the early Christian missionaries, they converted many people to the Christianity, especially to the Catholicism. It was one side, but these people, they only involved the evangelical activities. They did not come forward to make some social changes by establishing the educational institution or the medical institution. Confinement area is only relating to the evangelism. Then the next stage, as where the Catholics failed, in that place the Protestant occupied the place. The first Protestant missionary he came to India was Ziegenbalg. He landed in the year 1706. The year 1606 is very important because Robert T. Noble landed in Madurai. The year 1706 is very important because Ziegenbalg landed in Trangupar. The year 1806 is also important for the first time in Kanyakumari district. Ringeltop, he landed at a place called Mailadi. Hence, every century year, that Christianity, the Christian missionary, they made some changes in the form of the social conversion that even went to up to the level of the mass conversion among the people. Now, Ziegenbalg, he landed in the year 1706. He died in the year 1780. He was the father of the Protestant mission in Tamil country. The first Protestant missionary. From the followers itself, the entire Protestant mission spread throughout Tamil Nadu. After Ziegenbalg, one man Salutes came. He spread Christianity in Kadalur region and in Madras region. Then the most prominent among them was, I think, that Squats. Yep, Squats, he played an important role. He made the southern Tamil country entirely under the Christian conversion activities. He started the Danjur mission. He started the Tiruchirappalli mission. He was called the Raja Guru of the King Saraboji. Even on his death day, in the year 1798, he passed away. The Saraboji wept with tears on the tomb of the Squats. In such a way, Squads was appreciated for his missionary work. He was a missionary. He mingled among the people. He was a missionary. He wanted to create changes among the missionary. He was an initiator of the educational institution in South India, especially in Tiruchirappalli, Danjur. When he visited in Tirunelveli, the Tirunelveli mission also started. Tirunelveli, you have to make a mention very good beginning of the Christianity in Tirunelveli. A lot of the missionaries, they played an important role in Tirunelveli. One mission was SPCK. It was the oldest missionary. When the last Sangapore missionary was Squads, on the same time, the first SPCK missionary in Tirunelveli was the Squads. Squads came to the SPCK missionary, the Society for the Propagation of the Christian Gospel. These missionary, they involved in Tirunelveli conversion activities. He converted the first woman, Kohila, a Marathi Brahmin lady. That Marathi Brahmin lady, she was converted, she was called Glorinda. Still now we can visit that place. She established a church and school in front of the St. John's College. That church is still now available. It was the first Christian church in Tirunelveli district. From itself, the Christianity spread in Tirunelveli region. Following the Squads, the two important aides of the Squads one was Satyanathan, another aide was Vedanayaka Sastri. These two people were very much interested in spreading Christianity to Tirunelveli. Satyanathan came from Tanjore to Tirunelveli. Then Vedanayaka Sastri came from Palangutai to Tanjore. Yes, there was a missionary exchanges that took place in Tirunelveli. The first converts mostly from the higher caste people, the Vellalas people, the Parayas people. They were converted to the Christian. But thereafter only because of the first Nadar convert David, nearby Vijayaramapuram in Tirunelveli district, he was the first Nadar convert in the Tirunelveli district. From itself, the Nadars began to increasing level to follow the Christianity. Just the social change. The higher caste conversion to the lower caste conversion started. Among the missionaries, I am appreciating one missionary. He is still remembering the people of the Tirunelveli was Robert Caldwell. Initially, he was a missionary of London Missionary Society. He married his wife only in Kanyakumari district. Thereafter, he came to the SPG missionary activity in Tirunelveli district. He was a missionary scholar. He was when Squads was called missionary saint, but here Robert Caldwell was called a missionary scholar. His work was immense in the field of the history and literature. He was called the father of the ideology of the Dravidian. The word Dravidian was first coined by only Robert Caldwell. After Robert Caldwell, what was his contribution? He was the writer of the book, A History of the Tirunelveli. It was published by the government of Tamil Nadu, government of Madras in the year 1881. Now, recently, in the year 1982, that book was published by Asian publication. Then the important work of the Caldwells, a comparative grammar of the Dravidian family of languages. It was a remarkable and tremendous work. It became a social setting that happened because of the Robert Caldwell. Among the language, the best and the enrichment in the language is only in Tamil. Such a language was highly appreciated by Dravidian scholar Robert Caldwell because of them, the ideology of the Dravidian that spread among the people of the Tamil Nadu. Now all the Dravidian movements, all the Dravidian parties, they are endowed to Robert Caldwell because of his contribution. Then another missionary, the notable missionary was Marcosis. He called he initiated one mission called a Nazareth mission. He was a doctor, basically a doctor. Basically, he involved in medical mission. He established a medical institution called St. Luke's Hospital, the oldest hospital in Nazareth. And another one, he established the theological college nearby Nazareth. These two important things are remarkable to the society. Now this theological college disappeared. It was converted to Madurai region. It was settled at a place called, I think that Arasaredi. Now there itself, the theological college is working. From there, the theologian, they are getting the knowledge of the theological aspect of the Christianity. This was the Christian missionary that spread in Tamil Nadu. The most important Christian missionary, most important Christian mission was the Methodist Mission Society. It created very important changes in the Madras region. One among the Methodist, why it was called Methodist means the Methodism means only the evangelism. That evangelism should not be confined only within church. It should be taken to the parish. It should be spread to throughout India. Then, therefore, they made itinerant speeches in entire Tamil Nadu. The Methodist mission was established by Wesleyan brothers. John Wesley and Charles Wesley, they established the Methodist mission. As they were established, it was called Wesleyan Methodist Mission Society. This society almost functioned in Nagapattinam, in Chengalpattu district, in Chennai district, and in Tiruvallur district. These are the important areas of the Methodist Mission Society. One among the famous Methodists, one among the social trendsetter was William Gowdy. William Gowdy, he almost selected a place called Ekadu in Tiruvallur district nearby Madras, where he started the evangelical activities, where he started the evangelism cannot be spread. There was a social gap between the missionaries and masses. For that, native preachers are very important. Such an ideology was created by William Gowdy. The Indian preachers should be involved in the method in evangelism, then only the evangelism would spread. This was the one ideology given by William Gowdy. And another ideology he has given, that means the evangelism alone would not save the people. The people, the missionaries should involve in educational activities and medical activities. These key things would only attract the people to the conversion. These are the two ideologies given by William Gowdy. When William Gowdy worked in Tiruvallur district, the most of the people were downtrodden people. They were called Panjamas people or Parayas people in this district. He was the first person to highlight the condition of the Parayas to the government. Thereafter, only Tramangir, J.H. Tramangir, he was the collector of the Chengalpattu district. He submitted a report to the government. That report was called a note on Parayas. The note on the people, note on the Parayas, that report was highly debated in the British Parliament in the year 1891. Thereafter, the Madras government brought the first government GO for the cause of the downtrodden people. 1010 and 1010A, these are the two revenue GOs that were published in the year 1892. Thereafter, the Panjamas, the poor Panjamas, the landless Panjamas, they got the Panjami land. The Panjami land was very important issue. That issue was still debated. The people of the Tamil Nadu, the people of the government is still searching and finding and locating the Panjami land for the cause of the downtrodden people. These aspects were highly covered by Rajasekhar Basu, one scholar from the I think that Bengal region, he wrote a book called Nandanar Children, The Triest Destiny in Tamil Nadu. That book covered up to the year of the 1956. It was one book that covered the Panchamas problem. And another book, Rupa Viswanath, she wrote a book called Panchama Problem. That book was published by the Columbia University in the year 1914. Then another scholar, Dr. Manikam of the Mathura Kamaraj University, he published one book in the year 1977 at Wiesbaden in Germany. That book was called Social Setting in Conversion in South India. These three things highly highlighting the Panjamas issues that spread the entire Tamil Nadu, especially in the northern part of the Tamil Nadu. One thing. This was the one social setting, the Christian missionary movement, they highly highlighted for the social changes among the downtrodden people, especially among the pariahs community people on the one side. What was the case of the Nadar community? They were important industrious people and business people nowadays. All are we are knowing about their condition. But in the beginning, people, they were also placed as outcast people by the caste hierarchical system established by the Manu Code of the law. They were below the Tevar community, they were above the downtrodden community. That was, they were called intermediate caste people. But they were highly confident people, highly hardworking people. Hence, their elevation was very easy. Even though in Tirunelveli district, they came to the Christianity as latecomer, but nowadays they were mostly converted to the Christianity, and changes appeared among them. They also elevated themselves in high position in the hierarchical rank of the caste-ridden society. What happened here? Dr. Robert Caldwell, she wrote a book called in the year 1849, The History of the Chonar. It was a very important book. It highlighted the community people, especially the Nadar, from the Dodi topping, from the Palmyra climbers. Their condition was very saturating. They were lived in poor economic and social background. This was highly exposed by Robert Caldwell, but unfortunately, he was also criticized because they claimed the Satriya status. They belonged to the Satriya community. Even in the year 1992, up to 1921, they were called Chanars. In the year 1922, they became claimed the Satriya state. Thereafter, only they were called Nadars. Their condition was very pathetic, especially in Kanyakumari district. I am still here. I am highlighting the MSS Pandian work. He wrote recently, he published a book after his death, posthumous book. That book was called The Strangeness of the Tamil Nadu. It was edited by the famous to one, his wife, and another man, David Ludden. He was an authority in the history of the Tirunelveli after Robert Caldwell. David Ludden and the wife of M.S.S. Pandian, they edited the book. That book highlights a number of the articles published by M.S.S. Pandian in the Economic and Political Weekly. Among them, one article was called the Nadar Censorship. It was published in EBW. Now, what is the main content of the article? The main content of the article was up to 1812. At that time, the age of the Vaikunta Swami was only 4 years old. At that time, 1812, the issue of the right of the Christian Nadar woman to wear upper cloth created a great controversy in the South Trivandrum, especially which was under the control of the princely state of the Travancore. In the year 1812, the Nada Christian Nada took the issue to the government. It resulted a great riots in Kanyakumari district in the year 1812 and 1827. Ultimately, one missionary, especially Charles Mead, he was a great missionary of the London Missionary Society. He worked hard for the cause of the Nadars. At first, the Christian Nadars were given permission to wear upper cloth because they went to the court. The court had given verdict in favor of the Christian Nadars. The other Hindu Nadar women, the other downtrodden caste people, women were not allowed to wear the upper cloth. There was a caste oppression. The dominant community there was their Nayars. The Nayars oppressed the community with the help of the Nayar army, which was a dominant in Travancore government. The rulers of the Travancore government, they also supported and backed the cause of the Nayar because they wanted to keep the tradition there. But the continuous struggle of the Christian missionary and the role played by Vaikunta Swami. Vaikunta Swami died before 8 years when the order came. The order came only in the year 1859. Before the 8 years, Vaikunta Swami also passed away. The Hindu and the Christian orders, especially the role backed by the London Missionary Society, ultimately the Nadars won their cause. The Nadar women were allowed to wear the upper cloth in Kanyakumari district, which was under the control of the South, especially in the Travancore government. In 1865, the government finally they passed a legislation in favor of the downtrodden people, all the downtrodden people to wear upper cloth people, because the nearby Tirunelveli district Nadar women, they already got the right. The right denied in this cause was only the Kanyakumari district Nadars alone. Now the Nadars also won the cause for the cause of the downtrodden people. Another important change, one related to the temple entry activity relating to the Nadars. The Nadars were the first people. They fight against the cause of the allowing the downtrodden people to enter into their temples. Especially, I am here remembering the book, Dr. Sobanan. He has wrote a book called The Temple Entry Riots in Sivagasi area. In that book, he highlighted the temple entry problem, especially in Arpukotai, Kamudi, and Srivilliputtur area. The Nadars involved in fighting against the caste Hindus to allow the downtrodden people into the temple street. They wanted only to allow in the temple street. Then when they wanted to insist to enter into the temple, that was the problem in Arpukotai region, where the dominant community people were the Villalas and the Thevar community people. They did not allow the Nadars because they considered them as outcast. Still, they remembering their occupational problem that is related to Dadi Dapping. That was disliked, that was called one among the Panjama Padagas of the Hindu Shastra. Yet anyhow, they involved in the fighting. That fighting went up to the Privy Council, not the Supreme Court of India, but it went up to the Privy Council in London. The London Privy Council verdict that came in the year 1907, in that the Nadars were denied the right to enter into the Brahminical temple. The Brahminical temples were constructed on the basis of the Shastras, where the Nadars were not allowed. Their position was also decided by the Privy Council as intermediate caste. This was very clear in the verdict of the London Privy Council report. Thereafter, the Nadars got calm, but they expected The same outburst from the downtrodden community. Until that, they wanted to wait, but they did not relinquish their valor and courage. They constructed big temples in each and every area of their district, especially in Tirunelveli district. Still now we are witnessing massive temples of the Nadar community. They were in the name of the Mariamman temple. Such a subaltern people. They did not relinquish their pride, honor, and heritage. They preserved their own temples in the name of the Hindu temple called Mariamman temple. Each village, taluk, and town of the Tirunelveli district is witnessing the Mariamman temple. Now, what happened the next? The next stage of the downtrodden community cause was taken by Adi Dravidas. The organic intellectual. The organic intellectual among the Adi Dravida was, I am appreciating, I am recollecting the thoughts of Ayodhyadas Pandit. He was the founder of the Dravida Kalagam in the year 1890. Now we are celebrating one Dravida Kalagam that was established by Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy in the year 1944, was already started by one Adi Dravida community people, especially Ayodhyadas Pandit in the year 1890. He was started the first social organization for the cause of the Adi Dravidas. That was called Atmiga Sabha in the year 1870. It was very clear he was the first intellectual among the Adi Dravidas. Then he started Dravida Mahajana Sabha in the year 1891. Then he also started a newspaper called Tamilan, Oribaisa Tamilan. It was converted as Tamilan in the year 1907. He lived up to the year 1914. Thereafter, the paper was run by his son Pattabhiraman. These followers, his contribution was very immense for the cause of the Adi Dravida awakening. He was also a social trendsetter. Because of him, the Dravidian movement nurtured very much in Tamil country. The first Robert Caldwell, the second trendsetter, I think that this man, Ayodhyadas Pandit. A number of the books that came to publish after death of the Ayodhyadas past, especially it are coming into the publication only after independence period in the year 1980s. Here the contribution of the Ayodhyadas was very highlighted to the people, to the historians, to the scholars, to the students was G. Aloysius. Even when I studied in the Madurai Kamaraj University, he published 2 volumes in St. Xavier's College that was called Ayodhyadasar Chintanaigal. The 2 volumes were very tremendous work. The paper News of the Tamilan was taken by him. It was compiled in those books. The tremendous work done by J. Aloysius was an indelible work in the scholarly books of the Tamilians. After Ayodhyadas Pandit, Rattamalai Srinivasan, he took the issue in the practical way. He discussed the issue in the legislature. That legislature created a number of the nominated posts to the Adi Dravida members after the Justice Party came to power in the year 1921. The Justice Party, among the Justice Party leaders, the social trend setter was Tyagaraya Chetty, T.M. Nair, and Nadesa Mudaliar. They were called the 3 pillars of the Dravidian movement. They started the Justice Party in the name of the newspaper, The Justice. It conducted a number of the non-Brahmin conferences. It conducted a number of the provincial conferences. But what happened when the Justice Party came to power in 1921? They became the armchair politician. even though they done important measures for the cause of the people of the Tamil Nadu, mostly they were beneficial only to the upper caste Hindus. Either Hindu Religious Endowment Act or the communal duos that was passed in the year 1921, 1922, and in 1928. That act earned the name for Muttaya Mudaliar, the father of the communal GO. But these acts were beneficial only to the upper caste Hindus. They contributed also to the formation of the Annamalai University and formation of the Andhra University in 1920s. These universities spread the educational knowledge among the people, but the most beneficial people were the caste Hindus. Hence, M.C. Raja, he was a leader of the Justice Party. He considered the Justice Party became Injustice Party after the death of the D.M. Nair. D.M. Nair was a magnificent personality of the Justice Party. He died unfortunately in the year 1919. He cemented the differences between the Adi Dravida people and the caste Hindus. But he passed away. His death was a battle to the Justice Party. The party declined in the year 1937. Thereafter, Rajaji came to power in the 1939. 1937. His period of the service was up to the year 1939. During his days, he worked for the temple entry movement in Tamil Nadu. M.C. Raja brought a bill. C.S. Rangachari, C.S. Rangaiyer also brought a bill in the central legislature. Even though all bills were not supported by Rajaji, he himself brought the temple entry bill in Malabar region. And finally, he brought the temple entry bill in Tamil Nadu also. Before he passing the Temple Entry Indemnity Act in 1939, he wanted to implement practically the temple entry in Tamil Nadu. He had chosen the area, Madurai. He made A. Vaidyanatha Iyer, R.S. Naidu, N.M.R. Subraman, he was called the Madurai Kanji. These people involved in Madurai temple entry, backed by the support given by Muthuramalingam Thevar. Vaidyanatha Iyer was a predominant person. He was the president of the Tamil Nadu Guardian Sevak Sangh, the first president. He was in the post up to the year 1952. After his death only, T.S.S. Rajan became the president of the Tamil Nadu Guardian Sevak Sangh. He implemented the Madurai temple entry on 8th July 1939. It was a remarkable year. He was also a social trendsetter. As a Brahmin, as a staunch Brahmin, as a relative of Nadesh Iyer, a junior practice under the Nadesh Iyer, who was the president of the All India Varnashrama Sangh. It was a Brahminical organization. Under the president of the Nadesh Iyer, he was a junior practice in law. But he entered into the Madurai temple entry. He, along with 5 Karjan, 1 Nadar, Sanmuga Sundara Nadar of Virudhunagar. These people entered Madurai Meenakshi Ammal temple for the first time. What happened on the same time? On the same night, the temple was closed. The next day, the Brahmins were hesitated to open the temple. They wanted the temple should be purified. But Rajaji did not give no place for the purification. He was very strong. Vaidyanatha Iyer was very strong. Nadesa Iyer even made a suit against Vaidyanatha Iyer. The Brahmin ladies, they glorified Nadesa Iyer. They highly criticized Vaidyanatha Iyer. They even propagated the news. Meenachi Amma ran away from the temple and they settled in a Agragaram area where a new temple was erected. Such a condition prevailed. But Rajaji, a courageous man, he did not want to take a back step. He invited the Brahmins of the Tirunelveli. He opened the temple. The temple was opened without any purification. It was a great success to the Rajaji. But the Brahmin, they came later, those who affected the Brahmin, they came later, they got apology. Thereafter, they were allowed to enter into the temple. But what happened here, unless Rajaji Vaidyanatha Iyer did not open the temple entry would be postponed only after 1945 only, because the Second World War broke out in the year 1939 to 1945. Such a tremendous task that was taken by Rajaji that initiated very important thing. Then another important temple entry cause was Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar. Without his name, any social reform cannot be spoken in the history of the Tamil Nadu. His cause for the fight was only two people. One were women and another were the downtrodden people. When he was spoken at a Madurai Pannaipuram, an invitation, a courier came from the Kerala Congress Party. That party involved in Vaikam Satyagraha under Kesava Menon. Kesava Menon invited Periyar to lead the Vaikam Satyagraha because the Kerala Congress committee leaders all were arrested. It took place in the year 1925. Periyar came to Kerala, Vaikam, along with his wife, Nagamai, and his sister Nagam, wife Nagamai, and his sister Kannammal, and Kovai Ayyamuthu, and the young Palaya K. Kamaraji. These people went to Vaikam Satyagraha. They involved in Satyagraha. Unfortunately, the king passed away. The arrest of the Periyar woman was called woman. Hence, Periyar was allowed to leave from the prison. He came to Tamil Nadu. Again, he involved in the Vaikam Satyagraha fight. But unfortunately, Rajaji called Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi came to Trivandrum and Trivandrum. He signed a treaty with the Trivandrum Queen without the knowledge of the Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar. The treaty was signed. The Vaikam temple, the Shiva temple, which was situated in central Trivandrum, the streets were allowed to open for all the caste people. The name was gone to only Mahatma Gandhi. But the Tamil leader, Thiruvi Kalyana Sundara Mudaliar, he was the first person. He called Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy as Vaikam hero in his newspaper Navasakti. And he even wrote a book called Yanadu Valkai Kuripugal, the notes on my life. In that book, the Vaikam hero regard was clearly recorded by Thiruvi Kalyana Sundara Mudaliar. He was a famous labor leader. He started the labor union, the Madras Labor Union. It was another trend setting. The Madras formation of the Madras Labor Union was another trend setting. In the year 1918, N. Ramajulu Naidu, Chakravarti, I think Chakra Chetty, then Tiruvi Kalyana Sundara Mudaliar, then Jivanandam, then other communist leader. They started the Madras Labor Union in the year 1918. After the formation of the Madras Labor Union, the labor ideology was developed well. At that time, in the year 1920, the Communist Party of India was started. The Communist Party of India, it was a name that was not started in India. It was started only in Moscow under the leadership of M.N. Roy. M.N. Roy was the first person. He was invited to attend the Comintern conference that took place in Moscow. He was the first communist in India, but the first communist in South India was Chingaravel Chetty. Chingaravel Chetty was a great communist leader. He started one party in the year 1923, Hindustan Labour Party. He was the first person. On May 1st was celebrated the May Day in the history of the India. 1st May 1923, it was a May Day. It was celebrated even now all throughout the year because of the role played by Chingaravel Chetty. Can say C.S. Subramanian, he wrote a book called The Communist Party of Chingaravel, the first communist in South India. That book narrated the labor movement that developed during the time of the colonial period. The arrival of the Chingaravel Chetty that changed the ideology of the Dravida Kalagam established by Periyar. When Periyar came out of the Congress in the year 1925, because of the issue of the communal representation, he started the self-respect movement, a social reform organization. That self-respected movement started 3 provincial conferences. One at Virudhunagar. It was, I think, that the 3rd conference. The second at a Chengalpattu. Sorry, then these are the 3 conferences. Chengalpattu, Virudhunagar, and one other conference was convened by Periyar. The last conference, Virudhunagar, was very significant because Periyar wanted the Nadar community people, they should involve in the cooking. The cooking of the Nadar was very famous in southern Tamil Nadu. Hence, he has given recognition to the Nadar community people, especially WPA Soundarabandyan Nadar. On his name only, in Madras, the Pandi Bazaar was functioning. Pandi Bazaar was very important bazaar in Madras city. It was named only in the name of the WPA Soundarabandyan Nadar. Such a wonderful personality, he spread the self-respect ideology in Tamil Nadu. When Periyar came out of the Congress, it was considered a great loss to the Congress also. When Rajaji came to the power in the year 1937, Rajaji was considered a great intelligent and diplomat, but he cannot survive in the ministry because of the mass population that gathered around K. Kamaraj. Kamaraj was a disciple of Satyamurthy. There was a strong fight that inside the Congress that took place between the Kamaraj and Rajaji. But Satyamurthy, he was a great orator, but he supported the traditional form of the culture. When the Devadasi system issue was discussed in the Madras legislature, even Satyamurthy and Rajaji supported only the continuous culture of the Devadasi system. Such a tradition was developed by the Brahminical intellectual. But at that time, Muthulakshmi Reddy, she was a great social reformer. She was also a social trendsetter in the Tamil Nadu history. She was the first woman who entered into the college study. She also entered into the medical service. She also entered into the Madras legislature as a deputy chairman. Many first gathered around Muthulakshmi Reddy. She started Avai Illam in the year 1930. She also got a great land donation from M.G. Ramachandran, the Chief Minister of the Tamil Nadu, for the Adayar Cancer Institute. Such a wonderful personality, she survived in the Madras legislature. She simply asked one question, are you ready? If you are supporting the Devadasi culture, can you send your daughters to the Devadasi system? But these people, they got panic because of the question raised by Muthulakshmi Reddy. Such a wonderful social trender. She also started and a frontline leaders of the Women Indian Association that was established in the year 1917. It was the first woman organization in the entire India. The first labor organization in the entire India was started by Madras Labor Union. Like that, the woman organization also started only in Tamil Nadu. It was called Women Indian Association. The important leaders of the association were Muthulakshmi Reddy, Margaret Gussin, then Annie Besant. These leaders, they brought the woman issue, they dragged the woman issue along with the voting right movement of the America and England. The woman got voting right only during the time of the Justice Party. The three important organizations that helped the woman movement in the colonial period was one Woman Indian Association 1917 and another one National Council for Women in the year 1925. Then All India Women Conference, it started in the year 1927. These three women organizations, they worked for the cause of the woman only in the one field, especially equality, right to equality, and political right, the voting right. These are the two agendas of the woman that take place during the time of the colonial period. But after colonial period, one important woman organization that played an important role for gathering the women for the cause of the society. That was called All India Women Democratic Association. It was established in the year 1981. The important leaders of this association were, one was Papa Umarnath and Maithili Sivaraman, then Vasuki. These three persons, they took the woman organization to the downtrodden society because this organization had social background and political background from Communist Party of India. The woman organization touched the downtrodden society only because of the All India Women Democratic Association. The early three organizations that touched only the upper strata of the society, it did not reach to the downtrodden class. That was the greatest thing. Thus, the women organization, it was also a trend-setting movement in the socio-political issue. Now I am coming to the subaltern studies. The subaltern studies, still we are remembering the name of the Ranajit Gugha. He was the founder of the Subaltern Study, School of Subaltern Study in India when he worked in the Australian National University. He edited 6 volumes. What was the Subaltern Studies? The Subaltern Studies, it was almost like that of the People Study. It worked for the cause of the voiceless people. It worked for the cause of the common people, downtrodden people, submerged people, subterranean people. It also talked about the history of the historyless people. That people history had taken place in different parts of the India. They were submerged when the national movement was dominated. In the words of the Ranajit Kuka, the national movement was only the elitist movement. The national movement failed India's longest freedom struggle. America got independence only 1 year in the year 1776. French got independence in the year 1789. Russia got Indian independence only in the year 1917. But the Indian freedom struggle was very longest freedom struggle. It was because it was the elitist movement. It did not touch the downtrodden society. Eugene F. Hirschig, a famous American historian, he contributed much for the historical knowledge of the Tamil Nadu. One of his books is called Tamil Revivalism in 1930s. He mentioned in that book Gandhian Harijan tour that was very beneficial only to the elitist caste Hindus only. Gandhi contributed much fund for the Harijan fund, but that fund helped only the caste people to stand in the election of the 1937 under the Indian Council Act of 1935. Especially, T.S.S. Rajan won the election in Tiruchirappalli. Avinashlingam Chettiar he won the election in Coimbatore region. In Madurai, Vaidyanatha Iyer he won the election. It showed that the Indian national movement run by Mahatma Gandhi was only the elitist party. Hence, I think that the same writer he also wrote the non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement failed. Hence, Gandhi changed the name of his newspaper Young India as Harijan. After 1930 civil disobedience movement, he started the All India Harijan League. Then All India Harijan Sevak Sangh, then Harijan newspaper. He also made All India Harijan tour to cover the downtrodden people. It helped the national movement to gain the support of the downtrodden people. A number of the downtrodden people, after the Pune Pact only, they came to the Congress fold in support of the Congress. M.C. Raja, who called the Justice Party Injustice Party, he also condemned the Congress Party in his early political career. He later strongly supported the cause of the Gandhi and Rajaji. These are the things related to the nationalist movement in Tamil Nadu under the Gandhian era. Here I have to make one or two references book to cover this area. One book, I think Tamil Revivalism of Eugene F. Hirschig. Then another Professor Rajendran N. Rajendran, the freedom movement in Tamil Nadu, 1905 to 1914. Then another important noteworthy book was Saroja Sundarajan, Madras Presidency in pre-Gandhian era, March towards the freedom. These books covered the nationalist movement and some of the drawbacks of the nationalist movement in Tamil Nadu and also in the national level. But here I am coming to the subaltern fold again. 6 books were edited by Ranajit Kuga. The first book written about the subaltern study was Professor S. Manikam. He also wrote a number of the book enriching the knowledge of the history. One book I have already stated that the social setting in conversion in South India. Another is an important book, the missionary studies in India, a cultural context, then facets of history, spectrum of the thought. These are the 3 books he covered. He was the first scholar who initiated the subaltern study in one book that was published by, in memory of the Professor Dr. Kadirvel. It was edited by Dr. K. Manikumar. In that book, one article appeared related to the subaltern study. Another important scholar, Professor B.S. Chandrababu, he also wrote a book called The Subaltern Studies, a booklet form of that book. He indicated, he cited 4 or 5 incidents related to the subaltern studies. But our area is very minimum. But the Nandanar children, it was also a subaltern study. It was published by, it was authored by Manikam and Dr. Padmanabhan, the former governor. He belonged to the Madras region. He also published a book called Nandanar Study. These books are related to the subaltern study, but the subaltern study reached its highest level only because of the M.S.S. Pandian. M.S.S. Pandian, he was called subaltern scholar, a subaltern thinker. He passed away in the year 59, just 2 years back. A man from the Tamil Nadu, especially from the Kanyakumari in the Marthandam region. By his humble beginning, he rose himself to the level of the visiting professor of the JNU University. A ferocious scholar, writer, and thinker for the subaltern people. His noteworthy book, the first book, I think that the MGR, the Image Trap. How the condition of the workers prevailed during the time of the M.G. Ramachandran, the former chief minister. Another important work is called Brahmin versus non-Brahmin. It was published by Orient Black Swan in Madras. Then after his death also, his wife and David Lutton published the book, The Strangeness of the Tamil Nadu. It was published very recently in the year 1919. All these books, how the thoughts of the M.S.S. Pandian worked well among the subaltern people, among the subaltern historians. A very wonderful historian. The first international reputation that was gone to the history of the modern Tamil Nadu went to the M.S.S. Pandian alone. A original thinker, as Dr. Apathurai has cited, organic scholar. The original thinker, organic strong, organic writer, and ferocious reader, M.S.S. Pandian. For example, I will tell something, some passages from his book, Brahmin versus non-Brahmin. Periyar E. Ramaswamy Nayakar disliked 2 things. One is Manudharma, another is Tamil grammar. The Tamil grammar Periyar did not like, because Periyar was criticized by the Tamil scholar, Saiva Siddha scholar. He did not know Tamil properly. Another way is one was called Manudharma. Manudharma Periyar catered very much. because it practiced the caste system. Nannul was a Tamil work. Periyar catered Nannul and Manudharma. This of the strange message that was given by M.S.S. Pandian. He again stated that Periyar was without a newspaper. Newspaper was very strongest and silent weapon of any social reformer. The newspaper, Periyar thought to the world. He started many newspapers because it was the colonial government that suppressed one newspaper. Periyar started another newspaper. He started immediately after he came out of the Congress in 1925, Kudiyarasu. It was stopped. Then he started the Purachi, a Tamil newspaper. It was also stopped. Then he started the Revolt, the first English newspaper of himself. It was also stopped. Then Paguttarivu, then Unmai, then the last magazine, the Modern Rationalist, Periyar started. Periyar died in the year 1977, 1973. But even in the year 1971, Periyar started the Modern Rationalist, a news journal. Thus, Periyar propagated his views only through the newspaper and platform. He was a continuous itinerant preacher. He spread the rationalist ideas and socialist ideas. He combined himself the socialism and rationalist idea because of the influence of the Singaravelu Chetty, because he also toured in 1930s the European continent, where Periyar, attracted by the ideas of the socialism, he included communist ideas in Dravidakkalagam. Even one time, Singaravelu Chetty also joined in the Periyar movement. But later, he diverted from the communist movement to the socialist ideas when he proclaimed the Dravida Nadu. Periyar organization was only purely a social organization. He did not want to involve in the politics after the starting of the 1949 when the DMK was started. DMK came out of the Dravidakkalagam, which was formed in the year 1914. Such a subaltern ideas that saturated the political ideas of Tamil Nadu through Periyar E.V. Ramasamy Naikar, through the Justice Party, through the Dravidakkalagam, through the self-respect movement, through the communist movement, through the labor movement, through the women organization also. It started the entire things. Such a wonderful trends that prevailed in Tamil Nadu. Hence, Tamil Nadu is also gaining a significant place in the elitist movement. It was not highly influenced by the religious ideas because politics is different from religion. In some other state, the religion and politics is mingled with each other. But the elitist ideas, that the subaltern ideas, that was great, gained many momentum in Tamil history, Tamil Nadu history, only because of the recent role by M.S.S. Pandian. He edited the 12th volume. He highlighted each and every issue that prevailed in Tamil Nadu history, either in the political scenario or cultural scenario. He done his PhD degree in the Madras Institute of Development Studies related to the agrarian problem in Nanjil Nadu, and economic historian. He also turned to the cultural history. At last, he selected to the political history and he come to the social history. Yeah, many field activities of the MSS Pondian that gained very importance. Now, with these remarks, that trend setting, the socio-political, that trend setting, it come under the form of the missionaries were the initiator. Then the social reformer, they finished the task. Now it was a elitist society. Now many changes took place because of the Dravidian ideology. I think that the role of the William Gowdy, Truman Keir, Robert Caldwell, some of the missionary organizations, especially many mission worked in Tamil country. London Missionary Society, it worked in Trivandrum in Kanyakumari district. Arcad Madura Mission, it worked only in Madurai district, especially Kambam, Theni, Pasumalai is considered its headquarters. Then American Arcad Mission that gained mission activities in North Arcade, especially in Vellore district under the important Dr. Ida Sutter. Methodist Mission, it occupied its place in Madras. Then SPG, Society for the Propagation of the Gospel. SPCK, Society for the Propagation of the Christian Knowledge. Then CMS, Christian Mission Society. These three missions worked in Tirunelveli district. Missionary were trendsetter, the Catholic missions and Protestant mission. They created changes, they done humanitarian works. It was a time of the pandemic period, but the missionaries worked in many pandemic period, especially in the wake of the spread of the epidemic diseases, cholera, plague, and smallpox. Yeah, many missionaries mingled with the people. They perished in Tamil land because of the famine that took place in the year 1876. One of the article David Arnold he published in Subaltern Studies in the volume 4, the Madras famine, 1876-1877. The missionaries perished themselves. They worked for the cause of the people during the time of the pandemic period. Now we are all in the same stage. We are also have to work with the missionary spirit to drive away the pandemic period from the scenario of the Indian continent and Tamil country and Tamil Nadu. With these things, I conclude my speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much for your enlightened and tremendous lecture, Professor.
Thank you.
Now the participants are requested to raise your questions, queries, doubts.
Okay.
About the topic the resource person discussed.
Okay, Professor.
Okay, wait, please. Participants are requested to raise questions in the chat box, please. Our there is a question the question now. Das was the father of the Professor. Professor, are you on the line? Professor SMK.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One question raised by the participants.
Okay.
Just a minute. Ayodhyadas was the father of downtrodden people, upliftment, but unfortunately, the history of his dedicated work was not reached him to the people. Why, sir?
It was because at that time there was no propaganda.
Okay.
There was no financial support for the downtrodden people to support the cause of the Ayodhya Das Pandit. But after the colonial period, his name and fame was reached throughout the world. He was considered the first Dravidian leader, the pioneer leader, and the foremost leader, and the founder of the Dravidian movement also.
Okay, Professor, next question, sir.
Okay, sir.
What was the role of missionaries in communal conflict erupted in the earlier part of Tamil Nadu, earlier period in Tamil Nadu?
The missionaries done their work, evangelism. It was the first task among them. When evangelism was failed, it was not reached the people. They involved in the. They had taken the social issues. When they wanted equality to the downtrodden people, the caste conflict took place. But in course of time, when the people began to recognize the equality, because it is the country of the democracy, it is the country of the egalitarian society, where all the constitution ensure all are equality. The role of the missionaries cannot be taken as mistaken, because they only wanted to give equality. That was the primary concern of the Christian missionaries. I think that is unfortunately that communal rights took place even in the area of the Kanyakumari, the Mandaikad region. Professor Sundaraj, Dr. Sundaraj, yes, Sundaraj, he also published one article related to the Mandaikad conflict in his work, that showed how the caste conflict that took place on the religious conversion. But anyhow, it is out of our concern. But equality that was maintained by the Christian missionary that insisted in the society, it was a welcomeable measure.
Okay, brother. Another question is, I think it's a critical question, Professor. Just
Okay.
to think it in your own way. On Dr. M. Selvaraj has raised one question. What is your personal opinion about the casteism and its role in the society and its significance?
I think that I am against the caste movement. It was my personal stand. I am not for casteism. I am not for caste movement. But a casteless society is the main aim of the scholars and the rationalists and the elitist people. Because it was the final form of the socialist movement. When people has to mingle with each other, we have to eradicate the social evil. One of the foremost social evil is called caste system. That should be eradicated. If the caste prevailed, it should not be penetrated. It may be taken as a nominal name, but it cannot be used in practice. It is my opinion.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Professor SMK has delivered a tremendous lecture today. He covered all the social and political turmoils prevalent in the society of Tamil Nadu. Also, he has given a vivid picture of the genesis of Christianity and their ecclesiastical work, made descriptive description about all the missionary ideologies, labor movements, depressed class movements, etc. Also, he extolled upper class movement, Templian movements in a detailed manner. Your lecture is highly informative, data-based, quoted the events based on the published books with the chronological order, Professor. Of course, an excellent presentation. Now, the time for Thanksgiving. Yes, I invite Dr. A. Prabhakaran, Director of the seminar, Assistant Professor in History, Thiru Kalanjapar Government Arts College, Virudachalam, to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. We are in the last phase of today's national level webinar on socio-political trends in India, organized by the Department of History through Kalanjapar Government Arts College, Virudachalam. Of course, I think the participants enjoyed and rejoiced in the sessions and shared their experience in the webinar. Today's resource person, Dr. Sellu Muthukumaraswamy, has shared his rich experience and ideas with us in a coherent and chronological order. Thank you, sir. At the outset, I extend my gratefulness to Dr. G. Rajavel, Principal, Thiru Kalanjapar Government Arts College, Virudachalam, for granting permission to organize the 2 days national level webinar in the Department of History. Next, I extend my sincere thanks on behalf of the participants and organizing team of Professor K.P. Suresh Kumar, Associate Professor and Head, Department of History, Thiru Kalanjapar Government Arts College, Virudachalam, for his staff-friendly and student-friendly approach in rendering assistance in the academic platform. I find equally happy to express my thanks to Dr. Sellu Muthukumaraswamy, Associate Professor and Head, Department of History, Presidency College, Chennai, for his informative and thought-provoking lecture of the theme. Thank you, sir. I may be failing in my duty if I forget to record and register help rendered by Professor Dr. Jayabalakrishnan and Dr. Professor K. Appadurai, faculty members in history, for their valuable support and encouragement to organize this online webinar to reach the unreached. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to record my sincere thanks to organizing secretaries of this webinar for their moral help offered to me in connection with this attempt. It my bounden duty and responsibility to convey my sincere thanks for all faculty members, academicians, research scholars, and students, friends, for your active participation, involvement, and a coherent effort to make this vibrant webinar in a successful one. Also, I place on record my heartfelt thanks to my parents, wife, kids, and friends for their earnest cooperation to success in my every attempt. Finally, I also record my gratitude to my best friend, Dr. A. Thiruñana Sambandam, guest faculty, Department of History, Arnir Anna Government Arts College, Seyar, and my brother-in-laws, Dr. Santosh Kumar and Dr. B.Rajalingam, faculty member in Computer Science and Engineering, Priyadarshini College of Engineering and Technology, Nellore, Andhra Pradesh, for their meaningful efforts to accomplish my venture. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Can you fill up the feedback? Dear participants, kindly fill up the feedback form to generate the certificates as early as possible. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Have a nice day. Thank you, one and all.